All right, welcome back, everyone. It's a bright, sunny morning down here on the farm. And I am joined this morning by Woodhound Senior.
Yeah, top of the morning to your woodhounds across the world. We had our neighbor take out some timber, and in the process they also, besides oak, took out some popple for pulpwood or whatever they were going to make, but apparently most of it was rejected. So I think there's approximately about 30 popple logs here, and Dan's going to use that for campfire wood. And then
that's right, recreational wood.
And then there's probably about another half a dozen or so oak pieces here, odds and ends. So this morning we want to get the popple separated out and put on a separate pile, and then we're going to pick up the rest of the oak stuff here. So yeah,
the neighbors the neighbors to the north here, they logged that out for basically forest management, I guess. And the loggers left some. This is what's left some stuff behind, and
they didn't want.
They didn't want it, so we said we will take it. So
yeah, we're
the task today is to get this stuff cleaned off of the neighbor's land here, and we are going to pull it back to the back 40.
It's about 30 degrees out right now. The ground is good and firm. It's not frozen yet, so before it gets soupy and sloppy, we want to try and get this all off this field today. So
yeah, we've probably got a couple hours, and then it's going to get a little too
high noon. It's
slicky, too slick.
Yeah. So here we go.
All right,
we shall commence.
Oh, the last one. So this is what Woodhound Senior has pulled out so far. So now we're just be adding a couple more to it today. Got the little blue machine out, the little New Holland, getting her done. So yeah, we've got, I'll just show you here quick. We've got this pile right here. Got a couple nice big chunks of oak in here. And then some popple, or poplar, whatever you want to call it. A couple more pieces of oak. One chunk of oak back there. Here's a stick of popple. And then, nice little bit of cherry right here. So we got one log in there, and then this big tri stem. So basically we just need to get this stuff all cleaned up out of the neighbor's field here. Whatever we want we can take, so we're going to take it all. We got a big chunk in the front for some added weight.
If you can get weight in your bucket to put down pressure on your front wheels, that helps you a lot. So this log probably weighs a ton. You know.
So we're
Little
gonna
Blue will have his work cut out.
we're gonna see what Little Blue can do. But we got a big chunk in the bucket in the front to add some weight to the front to pull this big guy out.
All right.
Let's see what happens. This would be some good footage for one of those reality TV shows where like the narrator, makes it way over dramatic and makes it sound like it's just going to be an impossible task to get done. Something like this father and son Firewood team, they must work to beat the rising sun and battle the warming temperatures as the ground becomes slippery and sloppy and impassable. Will they be able to get these logs pulled into the woods and off the landing before it becomes a I don't even know. But you know what I mean? Like they just have these scripts written out where like they take one situation and they make it sound like, oh my goodness, this is just, this is going to be impossible to do. We are in a battle. We're in a race against the rising sun here, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, the ground is getting a little slick. It is warming up. Actually getting almost too warm for the sweatshirt, but we're about halfway done, I think. We've got the cherry and a few oaks left and a couple popples. So we're making good progress. All right, woodhounds, there it is. We're all cleaned up. That pile right there is all gone. The only thing we have left are the cherries. But yeah, so everything is cleaned up. Everything's out of our neighbor's field. I did go around and pick up all the branches and the little scrap pieces that were laying in his field here, just because that I think is the proper thing to do instead of leaving that mess laying here in his field. You know, just showing our appreciation for being able to get this firewood. Just take a little extra time, clean up that brush so it's out of the field, good to go. And yeah, everything now is cleaned up. And for those of you who are wondering what the heck is on the side of this gator, that is Woodhound Senior's DIY winter cab for driving in the winter. When it's cold out, him and the dog, they like to go driving around in the morning and the evening. And so he built this little enclosure and mounted it to the side of the gator to keep the cold and the snow and the blowing winds out. So I'm sure some of you are wondering, what the heck is that back there on that gator? But that's what it is, a little DIY gator cab. Uh-oh.
Well, this is our nice little pile of cherry wood. And the reason I'm doing is because I'm supposed to get another dozen to 15 tops from the logs that they took out. So I want to give myself plenty of room here for one of my.
All right, so now, okay, show the gimmick here.
All right.
So this is something that in all the years of pulling logs out of the woods, we have never had. And I'm sure many of you probably have or know exactly what this is, but
well, you know, ignorance is something that you got to overcome. And I was talking with Dan, or I don't know who you're, a couple years ago, and I said, boy, I wish they made a choker cable that you could stick under the log and hook it up, and then you could hook on with a chain. Well, lo and behold, the guy that's taking our timber, or buying our timber, I should say, I asked him about that. I said, say, do they make such a thing? And he said, well, yeah. He said, you can go over to this local implement dealer and they've got them there. So I went there. Well, first I called because I thought, well, I better check. Sure enough, yeah, we got them. So this is 8 foot long. And of course, like a choker, it has this little device here, which you then stick your thing in here and lock. And once you do that, it's pretty, I mean, it ain't going to come undone or whatever. Not like a chain. So that's the slick part about it. And the fact that you can force this under.
Get that underneath the log, hook it in, and just go.
Yeah. So I thought, well, okay, I better check with the guy and see what it's worth, because, you know, there's a point in economics where, yeah, it doesn't pay. And the little that we use it, I mean, I do use it quite a bit, but not that I make a living off of it. So I said, well, what is this setup worth? And he said, oh, let me look it up. So he goes and looks it up. He comes back, $17.85. And I'm like, what? I said, $17.85 for this? I said, you got to be kidding me. He said, no, that's what it is. And I thought, well, this is probably going to be worth $40 or better, you know. I mean, really,
yeah.
You know.
All right, so here's all the logs, all the popple logs, poplar, whatever you want to call it. There are 26 of them. So this will make a good amount of wood for the roadside stand, and to mix in with some bundles and just, you know, all the recreational burning wood that I need for not this year, but next year. This will be next year's supply. So I would say I got a good little start for next year. I'm gonna push these up out of the way in case we got to get more down here. All right, so that's gonna do it for this edition of farm logging on the farm. We got all the trees off the neighbor's field, so everything's cleaned up, and now We just have to wait for the loggers to come back, and then they're going to start logging on our land. So we'll have
about a 10-acre-ish plus spot they're going to work on. So we'll see what we get out of it.
See what we get, and we'll probably get some more tops and some more firewood. So
hopefully we can get on where they actually scale the logs, you know, determine how much wood is in them. That would be fun to show. So it's quite a process. So yeah, thanks for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. We'll see you next time. Stay safe, have fun, and be cool.